Hello, friends and neighbors. Welcome one and all, friends, family, fellow parishioners, and newcomers. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is also my first time with this particular video. So I have a particular announcement to make with this video, which is that I'm going to be starting a video course on the deeper mysteries and histories of Scripture. And to start this off, I thought I would introduce you to a particular Hebrew word that inspired me in the title of this video series, which I'm starting. I don't know if you can hear it, but outside right now, it's raining, and it's a nice heavy rain. And in Hebrew, there are a number of words for rain. However, my particular favorite is geshem. And Geshem means the fulfilling rain. It is the rain that brings all the fulfillment to the crops, to the livestock. It is a life-bringing rain. Now, when we think about Scripture and what we know from attending Sunday school or church or Bible studies, small groups, whatever it may be, we often, at an early age, if we grew up in the church, understand the basic stories that we learn from the Bible, whether it's the parables that Jesus told, or the story of Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark, Adam and Eve. We know these stories, but there are certain things that add fulfillment to these stories and these histories. So to speak, what was going on in the area around Israel when perhaps Abraham was dwelling in the land of Canaan, what was going on in Egypt before and during the time of the Exodus. This video series that I'm creating seeks to answer these questions and delve a bit deeper than what you would normally go into in your basic Sunday school classes. So moving forward with this, I've decided to title this the Fulfilling Rain Studies. And these will be in a set of series. So for example, 10 episodes in one series, 7 episodes in another series, 5 episodes in another series, so on and so forth. This first one that we're talking about, which I will start next episode, whenever that recording may be, is going to be talking about the giants of antiquity. Yes, you heard me correctly, the giants of antiquity. We first hear about these giants in Genesis chapter 6. You may have already been familiar with one from Sunday school lessons, Goliath, David and Goliath. So you know about Goliath. You know he was a giant. But what you may not have known is that Goliath had 4 brothers, and they were also giants who lived in the city of Gath. We're going to be talking about this next episode, and as we continue on, there will be a series of 10 episodes, this one being the first episode, an introduction, if you will. And as we move forward, we'll be talking about the giants mentioned in Genesis chapter 6, the giants mentioned later on in Joshua's conquering of Canaan, David and Goliath, Goliath's brothers living in Gath. We'll talk about David and battling the other tribes in which there were giants. And we're going to talk about why this is important. In other words, why even discuss this? I think it's very important to understand the context behind the histories that we learn and the Bible stories that we learn. The giants actually play a critical role in the biblical prophetic narrative. You'll hear this phrase a lot used by me, the biblical prophetic narrative. This is talking about what Scripture teaches us about what happened in the past and what to expect in the future. We'll go all the way through the Old Testament into some of Jesus's miracles and his walks with the disciples, all the way up to Revelation. So, as I said earlier, 10 episodes in total. This is simply the introduction. So, as we move along, hopefully I will be getting better recording equipment, better lighting, better setting. I'm currently using the upstairs office, but that may be subject to change. And I'm even toying with some video production software so that I can make my videos as enjoyable for you as possible. So we'll be using the Bible, the canonical scripture that we use in church. I'll also pull resources from extra biblical texts and apocryphal texts. I'll also be pulling from histories such as Josephus, the Jewish historian, Eusebius, who talks about early church history, particularly in Rome, and the book of Enoch, the book of Joshua, book of Jubilees, certain books that authors within the Old and New Testament were not only familiar with, but that many actually quoted from. And it may not be apparent to you that these people, including Jesus, quoted from these books. But these are things that tabernacle period Jews, first and second temple period Jews, would have been familiar with. So to them, a lack of explanation in Scripture is natural because they just assumed that the audience that they were speaking to and writing to would have already understood these things. But to us, living in 2022, these things are not so apparent. So as we talk about these certain things, I will be making it a priority to fill you in on the gaps, those things which are not talked about so much in Scripture, but will provide you a fulfilling view of the Scriptures. And it is my hope that you will take something special away from this and feel further enlightened about the Scripture that you are familiar with and have a little bit of background information to supplement that. So I hope that you'll join me for the journey in the Fulfilling Reign studies. Episode 2 will be forthcoming in a few days, and I hope to see you there. God bless you and every single one of you on the other side of the screen. Bye-bye.